Oh, I could really do with a hot drink this morning. But what do I have? Tea? I could definitely have a pot of tea or coffee. I really do like coffee. A coin. I shall flip a coin. Heads for tea, tails for coffee. Wait! I have had to make a lot of hard decisions in my life, much harder than the choice between tea and coffee, and I'm not the only one. You know, everyone on this planet has had hard decisions to make and will have very hard decisions to make in the future. But something that I've learnt when trying to make really hard decisions is that usually I already know deep down what it is that I want to do. It's just a case of admitting that to myself and going through with it, making the changes necessary for that choice to happen. Now, I'm one of those people that's like, hey, I'm gonna flip a coin so that I don't have to decide. I will just let fate decide for me. So we assign heads to one thing and tails to the other, and then we flip the coin, but in that split second that coin is spinning through the air, we already know what we want it to land on. We're wishing for it to land on heads, or we're wishing for it to land on tails, because we already know deep down that that is what we want. This isn't a new idea. I think I found this on a Tumblr quote picture thing or something, but I just wanted to spread the idea further because I think it's a really interesting and important one. It's not about what side the coin lands on, it's about what you're wishing for when it's in the air. I've often used flipping a coin as the coward's way of making a decision, especially when my own decisions affect other people, and sometimes it means that the thing that I really want to do and that I feel is the right decision for me means letting somebody else down. It's almost like by flipping a coin, I'm not responsible for making the decision because it was the coin, it was fate, you know, that's just what happened when I flipped the coin. It landed on heads, and so I have to do what I need to do, and I'm really sorry that it let you down, but it was the coin, it wasn't me. It's almost like I'm saying the coin is responsible for my decisions, so if you want to be upset at anyone, you've got to be upset at the coin and not me, because it was the coin who made the decision, which isn't fair, because I already knew what I wanted before I'd even looked at what the coin had landed on. I should have just said, you know what? This is what I feel is right for me, and I'm really sorry that it lets you down, and instead of blaming a coin and fate for those decisions, by all means still flip the coin so you can figure out what it really is that you're wishing for when the coin is in the air, so you're sure and solid on that decision, but don't let fate and the coin take the fall for it, because ultimately it is still you making those decisions, and that's a brilliant thing. Take responsibility for that, own that. Yeah. And sometimes in life there are decisions that we have to make that are completely right for us, and they're very important that we make for ourselves, but it means letting somebody else down, or it means that somebody else doesn't quite get what they wanted, and that sucks, but sometimes it has to happen, and sometimes that's all part of life, and sometimes there will come a time when someone else has to make a decision that's completely right for them, but it means you become disappointed because you hoped things would turn out a different way, and it's just all part of life, and it's all part of making really tough decisions in sometimes very crappy situations. But the important thing is that we are taking responsibility for those decisions, but also that we are completely and utterly sure that those decisions are being made for us and nobody else. And whilst we still need to take into consideration other people's thoughts and feelings, ultimately the decisions have to be made by you and for you. There is no point spending your life trying to make everybody else happy. So when you flip that coin and the coin is in the air, listen to what your heart is telling you it hopes it lands on, because that's probably what you should do. Dear Tom and G, this week is half term, which means we have an extra Tuesday matinee here at Les Mis.